I'm actually going to pour you a little bit of our Muscat. This is from R&R Vineyards. They're really great. They've got this little patch of orange Muscat, Alicante Boucher, a bunch of little oddball stuff out there. And so this is our orange Muscat. We did it last year as well. Each time I've worked with it, I've kind of tweaked it a little bit. We wanted to go a little bit riper in this vintage so that I could kind of coax out a little bit more aromatics. These grapes, the aromatic varieties, they're like Muscat and Viognier. Some of those ones, they have these little kind of aromatic compounds that really only develop in the last couple breaks of ripening. And so you'll taste them when they're early on, and they taste kind of like table grapes. They're neutral, and then as they go along, you get that perfuminess. So that's what I was trying to coax more out of this.
Awesome.
So
fantastic.
I'm going to pour this guy for you.
Okay.
And we do these all in stainless steel. These are not malolactic fermentations. So we want to keep that really crispy, tight acidity on it. And then at the same time, we want that bright aromatic quality. And in my working with orange Muscat, Muscats can cover kind of a gamut. There's, I don't know how many hundreds of different varieties of Muscat there are. But orange definitely has more of these kind of floral, and you know where they get that orange from? It's like that orange blossom, citrus kind of notes to it. It's not quite as cloying as what you can get out of some of the more intense Muscat varieties.
Right.
And I like that. We pair it up. We retain about 4 grams per liter of sugar in it, and then we try to balance it out with acid, so you've got something that's very snappy. When I drink a sweet wine, I don't see anything wrong with sweet wines. I think sweet wines, by their nature, get a lot of grief, but I think they're actually a really beautiful thing if they're done right. And it has to finish not like a fat, sappy, like an energy drink where it's got this viscous, syrup to it. It needs to have enough acid in there to make it finish snappy.
Right, and this does. It has really nice acid to refresh the palate on the finish, but it does have that beautiful sweetness, and so many people love sweeter wines, off-dry wines, wines that are kind of entry points, let's say, for some people into the world of wine.
We're actually introducing a wine club just for sweet wines because we've noticed this. And what I find is that people come in and it's almost they're embarrassed to admit or they're embarrassed to call out. And I think that's the tragedy of wine, is that you're not allowed, or you feel that there's somebody judging your choice of beverage.
Right.
And in the end, this comes back to my wife and her perspective on wine, which started really early on. As I go in and say, hey, what do you think of this? And she'd say, I don't like it. And I'd say, well, what don't you like about it? Give me a little more info. I got that, or I got that. That's all you get out of it.
She's Nero.
Right. And I think that in the context, all the consumers, you all have the right to do exactly the same thing.
Right.
When you're drinking those wines, say, I don't like it. I don't care if it's $100 a bottle. I don't care if it's $5 a bottle. I don't like it. Or I love it, and I don't care that it's $5. So,
right.
It's but intense aromatics on the nose, really cold, long fermentation. These fermentations last almost a month. In the first part of it, we'll get a really kind of fast, and it starts churning a little bit, and then we're getting it very, very cold. And as the yeast starts to peter out and we get down towards those lower sugars, that's where it starts to take a really long time to get to our final level, which, it's really a palate choice. Much like everything else in the cellar, when I'm working with my team here, we do it very, very technically. We get out there, we get all of our numbers. We have constant numbers on acid levels and sugar, ammonia, other chemistry that makes the yeast happy. But in the end, it really is my palate. We're saying, I think this tastes right. And that is what I call intuitive winemaking. That's where it's like, grandma making you minestrone and she throws in a little bit more salt in there, or a little more tomato sauce.
Right.
It's that intuitive decision. And I think that's what makes wine in general a really beautiful thing. That's why there's 4,500 or 5,000 or 6,000 wineries out here, is because everybody can find that person that kind of matches up with their palate and really own that wine.